observing is something where I felt like I would actually push the whole craft forwards. I could give people something that they would enjoy.
You talk about a team on fire, and that's definitely a situation that we do have here. We can really see some of the teams moving further and further away from the pack and getting closer and closer to booking their spot in the major. And to talk about all that, we got Kyle and we have Nahaz. So let's actually talk about what went down in the draft. I heard the casters talking about it quite a bit.
Yes, we did.
We talked a lot about which of the lanes was Alliance going to win, and the Sand King A dual lane down bottom worked out okay. Boxy was off to a little bit of a lead in that game. I also give Alliance credit because as much as they struggled in the other two games, by the first big signpost of this game, that 13.5-minute fight in the Dire side jungle, they had pulled even. I'm sure it'll come up in the highlights in a couple of minutes here. All of the cores were within like 500 gold of each other by the time the first significant engagement of the game occurred. Problem is, NIP just did way more.
But would you agree that that's the case there, Kyle? That NIP
Morph just gets blown up.
As often, I find it hard to elaborate on what Alan says because he's often just covers all the bases.
He's a very thorough man.
He really gets the job done.
I have a problem elaborating too. I know what you mean.
The thing about NIP's lineups, and I've yet to see anybody pick up on this for some reason, but they're just abusing vision control. And when you get to a lead and you have a Night Stalker and the enemy side doesn't really have tools to protect their backline, their draft is so squishy. Sand King, AA, Morph, Wisp, none of these heroes want to be initiated on, but how are you going to make the first move when you don't have any tools to do so? In the previous series, there was some nicks. This game, you have Night Stalker, the ability to just protect your Lina, and it feels like the game is so much easier for them. You get Radiance on Spectre, it feels like the game's unlosable.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I feel like sometimes in our analyses, we make these games just a little bit more complicated than they are. Is you're seeing the game clock tick down, right? If you play 10 Spectre games at this level, where you are at 25 minutes, Spectre is the most farmed hero on the map, and you have a tower advantage, Spectre's going to win 8 of those 10 games.
I think this fight was
that simple.
The perfect microcosm for the entire game, where you all in, they reload, the AA blast, initiate with DK, they get a kill on Night Stalker, and then Spectre pops Haunt, and they have to run away.
Yeah.
The kills seemed irrelevant, and it's just so much easier for NIP to make plays. Sure, Mickey Morph, he's the bright spot, but you notice how he's alive consistently at the end of these fights as the rest of his team just goes down. It's because he has no method of protecting them. You can see 3-3 constantly using the Spirit Vessel to find the Wisp, find the AA, they go down, then you can worry about the cores. Yeah, DK Morph, you can do some work, but you just don't do enough damage, and eventually Ace is going to clean up. Well played, well executed by NIP.
Yeah,
And,
I thought your point about the backlines was totally right? The vision advantage by Nip means that Wisp is just dead at the start of every fight. He's sitting there, and eventually did get Ags in this game, which is cool, but I mean, you got a bunch of balls around you, you're still going to die.
Yep, sorry that brought up a weird memory for me. I do want to,
Wow.
I do want to say right now though, when you look at what NIP has been able to get done, they haven't dropped a game since their first series. Maybe now.
Yeah, no, they lost their opening game of the tournament to Sirius and have not dropped a map since then.
Pretty damn good. So
most of the games have been like this one, where their win condition is. I mean, you look at Pycat, like backstage during these games, he's taking a nap, baby. This is exactly how you draw it up.
he wasn't taking a nap.
Well, okay, not during this particular game, but it's at every phase of the game when he's looking up at the screen, every box is being checked in terms of what you want to do to set yourself up to have the best chance to win.
All right, taking a look at some of the numbers provided by our analytical partner in SAP.
Isn't it cool how the biggest number's always on the left and then it just goes down? It's like a perfect order. Same with these stats, actually. It's really cool how they make the graphic.
You okay,
Wow, what are you
dude?
supposed to react to that, Kyle?
Yeah, you okay? Chat's actually really worried about Kyle. Chat's like they haven't been no Kai lulls, no adding any meme accounts, anything like that. They're like, Kyle sounds tired. Is he okay? Is Kyle sad?
I'm worried, man.
Yeah, they're worried about you.
Are we like sucking the soul out of you, dude? I'm sorry.
You do remind me a bit of a dementor at times, but that's more based on your appearance than your attitude.
See, Kyle's in a bad mood.
He is, dude. What happened? Rich, did you break
Kyle's
him?
in a genuinely bad mood.
It's okay, man.
Today
We love
is,
you.
Kyle.
What's really happening
It's
right now?
seriously okay, dude.
Yeah.
We're glad to have you here. Like, obviously we
You're
had
the
to.
best,
yeah,
man.
dude. Like we had to. Like I know that it's like a little bit tough because we're letting Sin cast a little bit since he's so much more knowledgeable about Dota. And America.
I mean,
but,
the whole community wanted Sin back as Toby's casting partner, but it's all right. We love you here on the panel.
hey, dude, we seriously we do love you, dude. There's good Dota on. What's wrong?
You know what's wrong? You got to undo another button on your shirt, Rich. That would really cheer me up.
And he's doing
Oh, wow, the camera actually. Hey guys, welcome back to the desk. It's time to start talking about the next game in the series. Is it going to be a 2-0? Is it going to be a Take this camera off my face, please. All right, there we go. Do you think that this is going to be a 2-0, Kyle?
Yes.
Okay, that was an easy answer from Kyle. First roll on the panel, don't always say yes. So Nahaz, do you think that this is going to be a 2-0 as well?
It's hard to find hope, yes.
Okay. All right, great.
Any other questions, Rich?
Yeah, please.
Consult
Mega
your notes.
prepared
What do
host.
your notes have, Rich?
I planned for an event and a half, and we're past that mark now. I need to start repeating material at this point. What do I have in my notes?
What's your mom's number again?
Hey, you leave her out of this. You leave her out of this. So, guys, we're in a situation here where all of a sudden it does seem to be a situation where we do have a team that looks completely dominant. And if they are able to make it through, they are going to get straight to the major. Don't.
This is literally just your Instagram handle. Why do you have this written down?
They're my notes.
What do you want people to do with this information?
I don't know. I didn't want that to be on stream though. I don't.
Nice shot. Right there,
Why do they,
right there.
guys? Okay,
Yeah.
you move your hand. They can't see.
Okay,
It's 2 L's.
yep.
Yeah, it's 2 L's.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hide the bottom part. Who wrote that? Who wrote that? Oh man. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah,
I'm glad
that's.
to know. Oh, you wrote this? This is the program. This is actually like, this is the important part.
Yeah. you
Okay,
just
which
flipped it over
side
to
of this
the-
sheet do you think?
Guys,
is more
I'm
relevant?
actually flustered. I've never experienced anything like this. So I am going to look to my notes here to ask Nahaz some questions about something that you said. You said very early on, Warlock, TA, Sand King, Dark Seer,
used this
Sven,
last
Bat
series.
Rider, and Nyx.
Yep.
You said that these are your top heroes.
Yeah.
You said it relatively early in the tournament. Do you still feel that that's correct?
Absolutely. We talked about that early on, and those are the 7 heroes. The first 6 that you named have been the most picked and banned throughout the event, and then Nyx Assassin, of course, you put him kind of up there as an honorary mention, having been, I think he's 23 bans, not 24 bans in 30. Yeah, 24 bans in 34 matches, something like that. No other heroes over 20. So, yeah.
So it's only 10 matches that wouldn't have happened. That's quick math.
N-A math.
So, guys, I actually
The wheels, they're coming
in
off,
my
baby.
entire career, I've actually never been so thrown off guard as Kyle randomly telling everybody that my Instagram handle is @RichWCampbell. I tell you ready to follow.
What was it again?
I tell you
Hey,
ready to follow.
isn't that your Twitter handle too?
It is. It's actually it's my
Wow.
everything. Yeah, it's
Wow.
literally everything. It's called branding, and we all have brands here. Kyle's is Kai Lol. Yours is Nahaz.
I'm 41, by the way.
How did that one start?
Jeez.
It started a long time ago.
Have you seen me? I mean, is there any other more appropriate meme?
I'm gonna be completely honest, as for some reason the camera continues to stay on us and not go to a game.
Thank you, God.
This is one of those panels that I would have liked to hit with a meteor. Production just said,
I'm down.
Yeah. This is man. Kyle panel, meteor. All right, so with Alliance versus NIP, what does Alliance need to shore up here to try to at least extend the series?
It's a tough question, right? Because again, you look at 14 matches, now 15 in the last 4 months. Only 2 wins, both of those behind the Mike Morphling. And you look back in time, both the Mike Morphling games that we've seen out of Alliance in this tournament, he's gotten the farm that he needs, and nobody else on his team has gotten anything from the mid-game onward. And that's one of the big, along with problems closing games, it's one of the big problems that we pointed to with Alliance is that farm distribution as the game goes on, where way too often it feels like they're playing core-wise 1v3, 2v4 as you go into the late game. Alliance, I think the biggest thing that they need to do is think a little more about the lanes. I want to see them draft to win 2 lanes against NIP, and let's go from there.
Okay, so bueno. Kyle, what are you doing?
Look, they can't see, but it's just funny because Alan's putting a lot of effort into this like well thought out diatribe on like Alliance. He's answering your question, right? And you're just reading through chat and occasionally just looking up to make eye contact and nod real fast. And just go back to what you're doing.
There are a lot of. Oh, you really sound like my ex-girlfriend right now.
Dude, what? Okay.
But there are a lot of different things that it takes to be a host. One of the big ones is you got to listen to production.
Yeah.
So I got one ear, I got production. In the other ear, I have Nahaz. Then I have, for some reason, Kyle sitting next to me. And then I'm looking at chat to make sure that they're enjoying the show, to see if there are any questions that they have, and just trying to bring that all in.
All right.
And I am able to balance that perfect act so well until somebody behind the scenes said, let's throw Kyle on the panel. I'm sure that would be great for Rich's career as he tries to break into the Dota community. Yeah, he's had 2 good days, 3 good days maybe. He had 1 good event. Let's put him next to Kyle.
I think you're scaring our camera lady.
She is actually. Oh God, she wants to leave. All right.
All right, Rich. I didn't know I made you feel that way. I'm sorry, buddy. Well, let me make it easier for you. Throw me. What? We got any questions I can help you address?
Kyle, when we see NIP just 1 game away from making it straight to the major, what do you think is going through Alliance's mind, right? I mean, they know that even if they do get knocked down right now, they're not knocked out of the tournament, right? This is a double elimination bracket, so they could go on that very long run. That means more games of Dota. And you look at Alliance, and every single series that they won, it was a 2-1, right? So imagine how many games of Dota you actually need to play to get back into the good graces of that grand final, back into the good graces of the major. Is that a stressful situation to be in as a player? I mean, that's a situation that you would know better than anyone else on the panel.
Definitely.
And Nahaz, you've had to coach this idiot.
I have indeed.
Yes.
10 seconds remaining.
Do you ever feel like
5
players
seconds
definitely feel
remaining.
a level of pressure when they know that, yes, they're not necessarily eliminated right now, but they're so close to the goal?
For sure. Absolutely.
Enigma going to be first pick.
Alan, please. Let's be respectful. Rich is trying his best here.
I'm going to do the rest of this draft with Twitch chat. You guys don't get in line. This is actually insane.
They probably have some good opinions. My predictions are often inaccurate, but I'm sure they know.
They said talk about draft, you idiots, and I totally agree. Can we talk about the draft a little bit?
Let's talk about the draft.
The draft has just started, guys. It's the first pick. What are we supposed to do?
Well, we've got a couple of significant heroes here left on the table, right? Leshrak left on the table. Wraith King, who through the first couple of days of the tournament looked to be the hero of the event, almost completely untouched today.
I like Enigma first pick from NIP. It's another hero that solves a lot of issues in drafts. You have BKB, piercing, disable, and pure damage. A great fighter around the Roche pit. Team fight. Secures an off lane, multi-lane, multi-role.
Real quick for
and
Alliance.
you can buy the team fight items.
Do you open Sand King again?
I hope not.
Okay, good. I
Rubik, right?
Thank
Don't you just pick
you.
Rubik?
Thank you.
No? Okay.
I think this is a hero that has been kind of forgotten about for much of this event. Really, most of the time, the Alliance drafts are the only ones that we've seen Earth Spirit. Tiger Earth Spirit is one of the heroes that this team, not just the individual player, but the team, is most confident in.
I like it with Grimstroke as well. You just pop the Inkswell on, he rolls forwards. It's a simple double stun.
Okay.
Very good against Enigma too, because you want to get on top of that hero. You don't want to allow either 3-3 or Zoxa the space to just freely roam around the back lines until they can get off the big black hole.
Yep.
Why were you so hesitant about Sand King?
I just don't like it against Enigma.
Okay.
I feel like
Yeah.
you inevitably end up fighting within the Midnight Pulse, and it just doesn't do enough. It's a hero with static damage output, and I think that your team fight effect is limited significantly when you go against Enigma. Love this pick
Okay.
from NIP.
Yep.
It's, again, you've
Same
got
reasons
save.
as the last draft.
All that's now, we can expect them probably to pick up some sort of hero that acquires vision
Oh.
in the later picks.
By the way, we didn't give Peter crap for like, come on, dude, give your boy a rampage.
Dire team
He like
What'd he do?
miscoiled that last. Ace had 4 kills and he miscoiled.
Oh, hang on. A rampage is when you get all 5 kills in a fight.
Yeah. I mean, come on, give your carrier a rampage, Peter. What do you do? Go write your next twit longer.
You definitely do want to do that. You want to give them all 5 of the kills. Also, you do want to be making sure that you have a lineup that doesn't have any holes in it. When we do look at NIP right now and Alliance, still very early in the draft, but is there anything that you are really worried about making sure that they hit here in the hunt?
You're looking for that Grimstroke partner, of course. I like Kyle's point about the Inkswell on the Earth Spirit, but you always want to look for those single target abilities that can take advantage of the Soulbind. And the big question again, what's Boxy's hero going to be? Because the Sand King in the last match didn't feel like he had the opportunity to influence the game to nearly the same degree that we've seen on Mars, that we've seen on the Earthshaker. I still am looking at Earthshaker here for Alliance as we go into the second phase. I think it's just a hero that Boxy plays incredibly well.
And I do want to ask again, when we look on the side of Alliance, you talk about a hero that Boxy plays incredibly well. Have we seen them start to really
10 seconds
be
remaining.
forced off of comfort? Have we seen them start to move away from their hero pool dramatically
5
yet?
seconds
No,
remaining.
I think they stuck with it in that first game. It's just that Nip was prepared.
Yep,
I think had a better lineup in general. Alliance,
100%.
Lone Druid is in the pool, and I would really like to see them pick up that hero simply because I think it makes their team better. And they need an easy way to push objectives early, and they didn't have that in the previous game. Sure, you can count it. Like, DK is not bad, but the rest of their lineup is not built around team fighting. It's not as if they could make those easy rotations around it. You're playing for the late game with your Wisp Morphling, and
I'd throw the TA into that mix as well.
yeah, sure. I just want something that's stronger in the mid game to be able to play around. I don't like Mickey on hard carries. I don't like the Animages. I don't like the Morphlings even. He's an excellent morph, don't get me wrong, but the way NIP plays, I think you need
10
something that's more powerful in the mid game.
remaining.
Let me see a Troll, maybe a Jug, like just something simple.
Radiant
Troll's
team
banned, but yeah, there's the Jug, and
There
I
you
think
go.
that's an excellent call. You made that point to me earlier today as I was looking at that Anti-Mage draft, last pick against the Storm Spirit, and I really liked that. And I heard you making a point about Mike on the hard carries. I think that, again, Alliance has had a problem with farm distribution
It's also
as the game goes on.
It's a killer. It's a killer. You have an Earth Spirit Grimstroke. All of a sudden,
10
that's
seconds
Earth Spirit
remaining.
rolls forward. You spin on top. You can kill things. Morphling doesn't have that same threat.
5
Mickey is
seconds
too
remaining.
talented to be relegated to the farm one side of the map and avoid combat.
Well, and it's not just about the individual player. It's about what problems do you have as a team, and is the play style that's dictated by that hero going to help those problems? And I think a carry like Jug, it's a hero that gets you objectives. It's a hero that pressures the map. It doesn't suck all the resources up by itself, and it facilitates you getting into the late game if necessary with 3 or 4 farmed heroes.
Dire team pick.
Now there's
There's the bristle.
that bristleback. But the difference here is that you do have some break left in the pool if they want to go for a Viper.
Yes, but
It's
I
still a
actually
Viper,
think,
which I don't like.
I actually think
but
that Viper is not bad. I would pick Viper here as Alliance.
I
Just
would too.
because you need break against Bristleback. The hero's just, it's not killable otherwise. I like the synergy Nip have with the
10
lineup. You know,
seconds remaining.
it's a method of getting vision, believe
You-
it or not, because Bristleback can
5
just
seconds
run so
remaining.
far into enemy lines
now
that
keep in mind you can also go for a Silver Edge carrier.
the item's too expensive.
Yeah, I
Way too
I
expensive.
kind of agree. Although I mean, I've heard some people bring up the idea of like a 3-position Nature's Prophet that has a lot of item flexibility, can get the Silver Edge up relatively early. But yeah, I would go Viper here as well.
All right, Kyle, what are you looking for right now for Alliance?
For Alliance,
Yeah.
if it's not Viper, I think TA.
Okay.
I think they pick it right here, right now. You last pick a hero for Boxy. Alternatively,
could also, you could also go Boxy's hero here. You could go something like a Mars or Inertia.
I wouldn't mind a Pango.
Pango is the.
I really like
think
Pango
actually,
here.
you know what is out of all the things we've talked about, is that the pick here? Is that deep? I think it's. All right, that's not what I thought we were gonna see.
That's a little early too.
Yeah.
I think Nip just picked TA
Very,
now.
yeah, exactly. That's very exploitable to me.
If there were a game for Puck, this could be it as well. Although I'm not a huge fan. I think it's just Nip looking to, they want something that hits the tower, right? Bristleback can run beyond it
10
and
seconds
secure the area behind him.
So DP.
5 seconds.
Maybe that's not bad. I like it. I just think you want something that provides more raw scaling physical damage. Just because you have an Abaddon behind it as well, I think it. I just like TA more. I like Vision. I like Vision in this game.
Okay.
Anti-mage.
All right.
That's okay.
How do you like
It's a
the,
dream. It's a dream anti-mage game against Storm Jug. You don't have much to deal with him. However, it does certainly slow the pace for an IP. They have no natural playmaker at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean Alliance, they have a hell of a lot of team fight with these 4 heroes. They have a lot of team fight. They have a lot of ability to stay out on the map, to
10
apply a lot of
seconds
pressure across
remaining.
all 3 lanes.
5 seconds remaining.
It's
Radiant's
weird,
team
right? Because
back.
the last 3 games that we saw from 33 on Bristle, in one of them he's just like he's ahead the whole time. He's ahead from start to finish, and the hero looks unstoppable. The other one though, earlier, he looked like a complimentary piece at best. And with the big difference in those 2 games is the cores that he had around him, right? In the first game, he has a Lycan that doesn't need a lot of
10
farm,
seconds remaining.
right? Earlier today, he had a carry around him that needed a lot of farm, and he just didn't get anything on his
5
Bristle.
seconds
This to me is a lot more similar to the latter case.
Yeah. It'll be curious to see if it's a mid or offlane Bristleback though. I think you got a lot of options as an IP.
You want a mid Bristle against Storm?
It's trade. It's not
Okay,
an ideal
okay.
matchup, but it's not bad.
Radiant team. Dire team.
Easy way to stack ancients from the low ground as well.
I just like that so much more. I think that is a lane that Fata.
I'll be honest though. I kind of like Alliance's draft. They need a key last pick. They need something that addresses the AM, specifically in the laning phase. But I really like their lineup right now. I think that the Earth Spirit Storm will be able to hunt the Enigma Lina like all game. Sure, there's an Abaddon
10
behind, but
seconds remaining.
if they get something that pushes their team fight over the edge that also addresses the AM, I think they're in a great
5
spot.
seconds
I love the
remaining.
Slaughter ban from Nip because I think
Yeah,
that would
that
have
was
been the
really
perfect,
smart.
perfect ban.
All right,
Or pick, rather.
And I like the drafting philosophy Alliance recognizing that again, Boxy is the one that you need to
Yeah.
enable. Let's save his hero for last, and I
I
imagine
think
we're going to see one of the staples here, the Mars of the Earth.
I think Mars is the direction they're going to go.
Mars?
I like Mars.
I like it.
I think Pango's still an option, and perhaps a Legion Commander. Legion Commander is actually excellent here because you can cleanse
Yeah.
off Lina stuns.
And it's
you
the
actually-
Bristle. You
you're a
make him
hard-
face
You're
you.
a hard counter to Bristle
Bristleback.
AM.
Yeah.
You also, because you can't, even if you get the counter spell off on the duel, you're still going to get dueled. Oh.
That is not what I thought
Ooh.
we would see.
Man,
Are they going for some crazy tree volley play here?
What?
Is that, well, you hear like,
You're saying Alliance is trying to toss the game?
all right. That was actually, that
that was a
that
good
was sublime,
one.
Kyle.
Yeah.
That was actually
It
super good.
really is true what they say. Kyle is the best analyst due to the fact that he's a former pro and knows more about the game than the other casters. If
If you
people get
just-
offended
you
by
just
his
readed
superior
that out-
Dota
oh my
knowledge, then
God.
that's their own problem. That's what I always say. That was a good one,
How
Kyle.
long were you saving that?
The whole time I wasn't talking and I was sitting back in my incredibly comfortable DX Racer chair. It is essentially a throne on wheels, and all the players are going to be sitting in them throughout the entire tournament, which is going to enable them to play at their best potential. Now, with everything that we saw with the draft, with the tiny pick coming in at the end, Haas, who do you think is going to be able to take this series?
It's hard to pick Alliance here. I think they've given themselves a much better chance with this draft in game 1, but I'm sorry, I'm going to have to make them prove it first.
My gut tells me that Nip's going to win, but my brain tells me that Alan's probably wrong. And I think that even though the Alliance draft doesn't make too much sense, I have in terms of like addressing the anti-mage, I think they might run over the lanes hard enough.
Yeah,
But
that's my worry.
Nip's team fight and their scaling power is greater. Alliance need to win the lanes. They got to stay ahead. I think they just might do that.
All right, well, you've heard the predictions from everyone on the panel. Now, let's actually get down to business and see what happens. If we do see Nip win this one, we will also see them at the major.
Well, we'll see if we can get down to business, and if Alliance can defeat the odds. I want to see, can they force us to a game 3 Tsunami? The panel was very much like, well, early game leaning from Alliance with this very unique and non-counted at all draft.
Yep, in fact, it would be probably the other way around, where Alliance seemed quite countered. The anti-mage pick was great. Bristleback does not have any breaks against him.
I needed to Sheldon hold up my sarcasm sign right here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's hard to actually tell it with my Australian accent. It's just like everyone doesn't realize that I say Saksa correctly. I don't.
As opposed to Shaksha?
Shakshka.
Shakshka.
Shashka. Sakska.
Sakska.
Yeah. See, I can say it correctly. It's just when my Australian kicks in, I just decide to remove letters.
Well, Saksa's on one of his favorite heroes, the Enigma. They've time and time again given him the 4 position, so I don't know if Alliance were expecting it to be a 33 Enigma, but chances were slim. And then once the Bristleback comes out, it becomes pretty obvious. So the Nyx Assassin was first phase banned by Alliance, so that's 1 break off the menu. Then they just did not want to go for Viper. Instead, Alliance pick up a Juggernaut, and then they followed up with the Storm Spirit that gets instantly countered by an anti-mage. So I already am not encouraged by this Alliance draft very much.
Yeah, and I want to see how the laning phase goes as well. Like, okay, you want to throw Lina in? Well, PPD, he's fine. He's in the pattern. Even if they dive under the... Okay, well, he's in the pattern, but he can level Mistcoil and potentially deny himself if they want to go underneath the tower. But just how aggressive Fada can be. Like, with the Lina, yeah, ES can roam on him, but he dominated last game. So,
he did.
So I'm expecting something more of the same in this game. Just get up in their faces.
It may be the approach that Alliance are trying to go for, because they do seem more capable of dealing with Fada getting out of control this game. The DK was not equipped to do anything that a Lina could do. But Storm Spirit can do what Lina does very well. Just these kind of backline assassinations that Fada was doing so well with his Shadowblade build. And then you have a lot of, roaming potential. Inkswell plus the Earth Spirit, which is already en route to the mid lane as we speak.
Yep. They're all coming for Fada. Give him the advantage. Well, there's an entire creep wave here. If they can kill Fada, he'll lose so much experience. And with that Inkswell, Earth Spirit just needs to stand in range of Fada. No TP supports coming at all. Abaddon has it, but he can't do much because he's only got a Mistcoil to give. But then Fada is actually able to stand his ground, get the first blood, killing of the ES. He still gets pushed away from the creep wave when the range creeps that were there, but that's the best of a bad situation.
That's a fantastic situation.
In fact, you can even hit Koifer. As Koifer's running back, you'll connect on the Light Strike array, and with Fiery Soul, it just turns into physical damage, and Koifer will have to south.
Yeah, what a great turnaround. Fada managing to get that Fairy Fire out, get the Ela save, get the first blood, and doesn't even miss that much experience because he lived for so long that so many of the creeps just ended up dying out of the tower.
33 is now having his own fun on bottom lane. Remember, Mickey, be careful about the cool spray stacking up, but it won't matter when they have, yet again, enough control.
Radiant's top tower is under
So this is
attack.
something that was distinctly lacking from Alliance in Game 1, is heroes moving around the map. It was a 2-1-2 setup the entire time, and a Spectre is thrilled with no lane rotation, so Ace was just able to get out of control. Here, they are putting more of a focus on 33's lane initially and Fada's lane initially, but I imagine that eventually an anti-mage will be very, very susceptible to the chain reaction stuns that Alliance have.
And Koifer actually backed off. Like, the bottle was coming to him mid, and he had an Arcane Rune potential pickup. Now Fada's able to receive it. I just want to watch this mid lane closely, because you know Enigma's going to be farming so heavily that you actually feel like the Storm needs to hit a quick level 6, a quick presence on the map, just to try and, well, either invade or change the balance of the side lanes.
Yeah, it's either Storm Spirit's responsibility, or if Grimstroke and Earth Spirit continue to have very profitable rotations, then they can start to venture into the jungle. They have not set up any wards yet, and at this point, it's pretty obvious that the Enigma's jungling. You haven't seen him in any lanes yet. Abaddon's helping out an anti-mage in the hard lane, so you can take a pretty good estimate that Sox is in the jungle, but continually, Earth Spirit wants to just bully Fada in the mid lane, and I'm okay with that focus as how well Fada did on his Lina in Game 1.
Yep. But that's why you also see NIP. The 3 observed was they planned.
Yep.
One watching the upper river, one watching the lower river, and one watching the movement and the gank spot in towards the mid. So PPD should know they're up on top, rolling boulder forward. Ace gonna tank it. PPD's the one who's in trouble, but then again, he's got shields. He can actually aphotic, and he's going to do it. He actually he uses the mango to give the life to Ace and deny himself up.
Very well played. And these Blade Furies are just not working out. Even the first
33?
Yeah, he's on the wrong side here,
Yeah,
I think.
he's salving up because he doesn't need the tower, but Boxy, there's too many cool sprays. One more from 33, it's just going to come up, they both kill each other, but Boxy was alive. When the kill happened,
He gets the experience, but 33 gets a lot more gold out of that. And they're just brawling down here. The problem is that Tiny would be very useful to gank the anti-mage. The Avalanche is a great spell to make sure that anti-mage can't get the blink off because the delay in between each of the stuns is too long for the anti-mage to get his blink animation off. And so if he shows up in the top lane, you get an Inkswell Blade Fury, you can very easily kill off Ace.
That's probably the reason why Ace is already moving. Down the bottom lane we go. Anti-Mage has some safe farming to do under the cover of PPD, and the ping does come out as Boxy's already moving south as well.
Dude, 4 Radiant Wards just peppering the river right now. They really want to keep track of where this Grimstroke and Earth Spirit go off to.
Grimstroke is still underneath the Radiant Orbs on top.
Posting up for this 5-minute bounty run. We'll see if NIP want to take a fight anywhere, but right now, things looking a little bit static right now. And
Yeah, they might look towards PPD. Avalanche and Toss, rolling boulder straight after PPD, needs to shield. He's still got the ability to miss coil, and he just times it once again. Another gank from Alliance where they commit a lot of mana to make this work, and what do they really get from it? A PPD dead? You'll accept that.
You may be able to get some runes, although Sox is already posted up.
Yeah, Ace is being tossed away and just dodging the rolling boulder, so it still would be a 2-2 trade-off. Tiger and Boxy getting both the ones on bottom.
Yes.
Fada is actually able to bottle as well the ones on top.
Middle tower is under attack.
And we'll see where he wants to go with this. Juggernaut is not a particularly easy kill, nor do I think that they can turn it into a push, even if they miss the kill. So I think Fada's just going to go back to the mid lane, and PPD may start trying to see what the Storm Spirit is up to, as Koikfa has started the jungling process, as is per usual with these Storm Spirits, in a good lane or bad lane.
It's an interesting question. Like, how are Alliance meant to push? Like, once they win a fight, like Tiny is their best building hitter they've got. They've got wave clear, but they don't really beat the crap out of towers. Unlike with the Warpath changes to Bristleback, like you get from him. He's just gonna try and run out the top, man. Okay. Fada's moved in, he's got Laguna Blade ready. One quick pop and that Juggernaut step, 300 HP. He's healing up as quick as he can with the healing ward. As Fada, there's a quick kick. Storm Spirit, long jump in, goes to Fada with the last strike array over on Grimstroke, but Fada's totally isolated. And what was meant to be an easy rotation into Laguna Blade kill does not happen. Vision on the hillside. Alliance knew exactly what they could get away with.
Yeah, Koikfa pops in with full mana. Did he use the top shrine? Because it looked like he was jungling at the moment, but he was able to... Yeah, top shrine's down. So I guess he shrined up after jungling, headed immediately to the top lane once he saw the Lina show up, and that healing ward managing to get Mike in just enough HP. The Laguna Blade animation was coming out, but Mike knew that he was safe. So 33 survives, but Fada goes down. But in regards to your earlier question, I think that Alliance have been historically lacking in push in their drafts, which is why I think the DK in the last pick of the previous game was almost like a panic thing, where they're like, oh,
we need
who's gonna
something.
hit towers? We may have forgotten something here.
Well, that's why they like that lone druid pickup.
Exactly.
In that second phase for Koi, because it's like, okay, now we do have that push, and we have someone who's able to be really strong in lane. The fight's being prepared up on top. Saxa, he's got himself a black hole available. He's out of range of that Inkswell, gets hit by it, but moving around with his own conversions, and with the nasal goo, 33. Time to run forward. PPD will die in the meantime. For once, he doesn't deny himself, but the Malphite stuns and the cool spray from 33 gets the revenge onto Tiger.
Now Fada duking it out with Koikfa.
Another quick jump down. See who's got the life. Mana running
Nice
very low
dodge.
for Koikfa, but Fada can't connect on the LSA, and Koikfa comes out on top. That's now his second kill of the game without a death.
This is, I mean, given how poorly Koikfa did in the first game on DK, this is great. Things are going much, much better. Although
Top
Saxa
lane.
has gotten a Dominator.
Troll Trap, Black Hole is just come up in time and pulling the Juggernaut back in with PPD there. Bikke cannot go anywhere but down, and that's a level 6 33, so the Warpath stacks are up, and that's why they increase the movement speed, increase the damage. PPD getting kicked back, he's already got a shield up. Koikfa focusing on the Abat, does not want to give him a chance to miss call. He almost got it off then, but it won't be enough, as Tiger has already used his stun, and with the cool spray stacks up, 33 can get an easy rebuttal kill into the support and move over to Grimstroke, who's already got 2 stacks on him, and you know he's going to keep going with this one. The physical damage plus 110 on this Bristle. He's moving for Koikfa, who's put the nulls back into his inventory so he can jump. There's not a lot of mana to work with, but he's got a Juggernaut with Omni Slash up.
Yeah,
Can't kill 33.
No, not a snowball chance in hell of that.
And they're losing mid.
Fada's taking advantage of the space because he's been getting bullied earlier on, but 33 is just sublime on Bristle. Like, the dude plays the hero like a ballerina. Whenever they went for that black hole, Blade Fury was coming out, he would turn his back during the attack animations, as now Koikfa may have to evacuate. He was turning his back to take more Blade Fury damage so he can get the passive kill sprays while the right clicks, like, you're delayed by your attack speed, and then again being able to turn around against a Grimstroke. He's so good on the hero. You have to respect it. Teams have not been respecting it, either by banning it or by just buying breaks, or drafting breaks, or the Silver Edge buying breaks.
But now you get the problematic like position of Alliance. Like, we can't defend top lane. It's a Bristleback with crap tons of damage. You knew he was going to become that frontline tower pusher, but when he gets combined with an Enigma, 4 points in demonic conversion already.
And the Dominator.
Like, they have to do something about it, but Ace has had a free time on bottom lane. Fana was having the same in mid, and what used to actually be Alliance who were holding the top 2 net worth positions, it was now actually for a short moment the top 3 positions belonged to NIP, and it wasn't even the Lina core. In fact, Ace stunned up Koi, but this is really good timing, and he cannot blink away in time. Actually, tried to go for the Mana Void. Insania will be the trade-off. Fada getting there in time to hit the Laguna Blade and the Dragon Slave.
Yeah, I got a little bit overeager. Thought that Grimstroke was going to be free pickings, but Koikfa was in the area. Minor setback, but this net worth distribution is looking very reminiscent of Game 1, where everyone's just within spitting distance of each other as now Fada gets spotted out yet again.
Yep. And he won't be able to get away from this one. There's no defensive abilities for that Lina. She's very much a stand and fight girl.
4-0-2 for Koikfa's Storm Spirit. This is radically different than his DK in Game 1.
I think the majority of his kills as well have actually been on Lina.
Oh yeah, it's been core, it's not just free support pickoffs.
It's 4 deaths on Fada. Not a happy world.
Nope, and being able to kill off Ace earlier as well. This is good, looking good, because I'm still not encouraged by the Alliance draft. But Storm Spirit having such an early advantage, like any game where Storm Spirit's allowed to snowball is always a Storm Spirit game. Even if you are against an anti-mage, like if you manage to work your way up to like a BKB or something like that before anti-mage comes online, you can be scary for an anti-mage because you can come initiate from anywhere, get the Vortex, maybe get an Orchid before anti-mage gets a Manta Style and stuff like that. So it's not just purely AM favored. There are moments where Storm Spirit gets the advantage.
See if he can do anything with it. Koikfa at the moment is trying to take it to bottom lane.
As you can see,
that's a Bristleback with 1650 HP and 6 armor.
On this heat map, Koikfa's just been everywhere on the map.
Boxy's moving over. He's looking for him. So he can hit the avalanche, but there's no toss-back target. They're too close to a tier 1 tower. PPD's got TP up so he can return.
33's always turning his back just in time, so that even if the Tiny does want to go for some right clicks, it's going to take too many coil sprays to the back. And Sox has got Black Hole available, and I think he wants to do something with it.
Yep. Okay. Goes in for the spin. Ace is here, rolling Boulder forward. They're able to get the silence off. Enigma, he's got a good army of conversions, but Ace, he's just waiting for the right time to blink away. I thought he was going to Mana Void on the Juggernaut. It wouldn't be a hell of a lot of damage.
Now PPD getting spotted out in the mid lane. Does not have level 6 yet.
Yeah, but he's got a shield. That'll be enough.
And now he just read the tome, so he's got level 6, so he manages to survive that. That's an expensive cooldown spend. Well played by Taiga. Again, Koikfa, Taiga, these Alliance heroes have continually been at the right spot at the right time. And it's not, I don't think it's based off of vision. Like, I don't even see that many observer wards near the top lane or anything. It's just they have great game sense this game.
I think Fada was meant to go for a fight then, but he was too busy farming. He attacked and broke the smoke that PPD started. And PPD's going to actually break it by coming too close to Koikfa as well. Wow, just a couple of slip-ups here from NIP, not getting the most out of their utilities.
But we haven't seen Alliance take a confident, concrete lead yet. The net worth is still, again, everyone is just bordering each other. I've actually never seen top 7 net worths be so close together. Just a 1K differential between 7 and 1.
Okay, Peter's in his rightful place.
Yeah, oh yeah, no.
Bottom of the ranks. 800 net worth, sure.
That's a good day for Peter. Oh, he doesn't have boots yet. Because I was a bit like, dude has boots? At 13 minutes? I'm impressed.
He's got a Wind Lace and an Iron Branch. That's the only thing that is a non-consumable.
And may have a Death Wish if Boxy gets away. It still does not have a toss target available.
And actually PPD like not leveling up the borrow time. I wonder why he actually holds that point.
It's the same concept as holding onto like Reincarnation. Because like if you think you will get too low.
Shields very quickly, actually breaking Fada free, but 4 heroes from Alliance arrive. Even with the Midnight Pulse and the stuns, Koikfa's able to just jump himself out this one, and 33 now feels a little too pressured. Sounds up for too long, but there's your big hit in the back lines. Connects on the Mana Void, but they're not done yet. Boxy keeps tossing them up and throwing down the pebbles. Any more damage they can get. Sucks is the primary target into the trees. There's one little creep actually body blocking it up as Suska, he's finally just far enough away from Boxy. He's relatively in safety while 33 battles up against the rest of Alliance, showing why he's so tanky.
But he's the only one. The Alina and the Anti-Mage go down, and famous last words.
My God, Boxy just runs at him, but PPD, he's got the shield. That'll keep him alive. Boxy begins its OTP out. Have they got the damage? The LSA from Vada will arrive, canceling the TP out. 302 gold going the way of Bristol, who survives this entire thing. And now they're going to add that pressure into the mid-tier 1 tower. We'll see what Alliance have left.
Well, they still have Omni Slash available, and Storm Spirit's got full mana, so if they
Rolling
want to
ball
go.
They're going after Lina. Quick Malefice stun over on Tiger, but they got the Grimstroke stun out too. But the Light Strike Array, it'll also connect. Yes, it's already down. Fada hits Koifa with that Laguna Blade. Koifa couldn't jump in time, but Mikke, he's spinning around. He doesn't actually, well, he's got enough for the Omni Slash if he wants to try and turn and help his teammates, but there's too much there, including the creep wave. It would not have been worth it, and Koifa was out of mana. So the tower gets taken. Bristol actually hits 300 a hit.
He does that.
With Warpath.
Yeah, he does that sometimes.
And he's got 2.6k gold. He was looking at phase boost before this whole mid-engagement started. I'm wondering if he's thinking about something a little bit stronger. Koifa. He's got bottle charges to build back up, and he'll get the other bounty as well.
Yeah, I don't want to quite venture on high ground, but this is definitely slowing down the Koifa advantage that he had built up so early on. And 33 is just starting to widen the gap, as now he's approaching that 8k net worth. And Alliance do not have the heroes who can deal with the tanky Bristleback, and he can literally build anything. He already has the Vanguard completed. Yeah, okay, so he goes for the pipe. I would have been much more optimistic with the pipe than any sort of damage build. Like sometimes when you are that farm and you have that much gold as a Bristleback, you're like, maybe Radiance or something like that. But
yeah,
33 likes utility builds, and I think his team needs it. You let the Saksa go for like initiating, you let Lina go for other sort of positioning items, and you let Anti-Mage carry the game. Bristleback does not need to carry this game.
Yep.
You let Ace handle that responsibility.
Well, Bristol can anyway. Like his quills as well as his Warpath stacks that give him the physical damage anyway.
Just gotta stay alive.
That's it. And if he can help his teammates do the same thing, then go for it. Quick kickback. Saska. Very, very difficult to survive this Tiger. At least the conversions get mopped up, so he won't die quickly. Koifa looking for his own target. Kills off the courier with that double down stream. PPD costs so much damage. He's still got borrowed time. He puts the shield over on himself, so he has to give the missed call to Lina, but that's not enough life for Fada to survive. Still into the tier 1 tower. A quick jump away. Ace looking to take care of the mana. His mana void. The silence is there, and the kick. Yes, he kicked Koifa back down into the river. I don't think that's where he meant to go. Koifa 2 hits, and he's gone. Tiger rolling boulders up. And the creeps won't kill him off. He stick charges up to make sure of that. The Mikke is now in the mid lane, and 33 wants to add that pressure. Healing ward is down. Okay, a quick little silence over on 1-2. PPD and 33, they all fall. In fact, 33. Hang on. That was an 8-time streak.
He can die?
He can die and give 711 gold to Mikke.
Well, what started out as a bad turn of events with the Storm. I mean, like, Taiga got that silence to make sure the Mana Void wouldn't come out in the first place.
Oh.
But that kick down to the low ground is...
He died because the entire pipe was on the courier.
Yeah, that double damage rune managing to kill the courier in one hit. I know.
Oh, God.
It started snowballing out of control very, very quickly. And Alliance are they're converting on their advantages far better than I've seen in any of their previous series. Obviously, they didn't have any advantages in the last game, so there wasn't anything to convert on. But here, they're being very, very systematic about who they're killing, how they're approaching it, where they're taking fights, and they have managed to take the tier 1 tower mid.
Well, they found Ace. A quick silence. He got 2 seconds till the Blink's coming off cooldown. Boxy hits with the Avalanche. Ace needs some level of protection.
Wow.
He just doesn't have it. He couldn't even counterspell at that point.
Yeah, that's the power of the Avalanche. Anti-Mage can't do anything against that. Not even a Manta Style will help you.
So much behind him, but they just couldn't reach in time. There's a very low level of maneuverability from NIP.
Yeah, which is why I think it's on Lina's responsibility and Enigma's responsibility to build these positioning items. Fada already has the Yule Scepter, which is great against Storm Spirits or any other kind of Blink initiators.
Alliance are coming to fight. Tiny's got a Blink Dagger available, hits the Avalanche. Yule Scepter aggressively, but he doesn't stick around for the Lion Strike Array on Boxy. Still worried about Grimstroke being right behind, same with the ES, but they've both used their ultimates. Magnetize is on cooldown for a little longer. Soulbind is off.
Koik was going to slow down a little bit after seeing how difficult 33 is to deal with. I think he's just going to try to farm up, work his way to that Bloodstone.
Yeah, and he's meant to be difficult to deal with. Oh, the jump in top. A huge avalanche. Saska, if you would give him the life, if it wasn't for borrowed time, BBD would probably be dead right now. But this tiny blink dagger, Boxy's just making it work. But can't get the kill, but creates the space. So Mickey takes tier 1 tower. And this top lane's just sitting in forever, ever question mark of if they can fight.
And yet again, it's going to be dueling carries. Juggernaut
Fire Striker Ray. No, never mind.
getting the free farm in the bot lane, and Anti-Mage also doing the same thing in his western jungle. So we will see. Obviously, the mid-game time he's going to be much stronger from a Juggernaut, but late game, I'll take Anti-Mage versus a Storm Spirit anytime.
Just got to keep moving up the net worth. Sitting in number 4 position right at the moment is not where he wants to be.
33 finally gets his courier
Yeah. And that's
reincarnated and gets the pipe.
He's got the buckler, the pipe.
Let's fight.
Everything he can possibly do to get towards that Crimson Guard. And, well, you may actually have your fight. The smoke is going to break in a second from Tiny, just thanks to time.
Yeah, great observer ward in the mid lane at nighttime. Sees everyone posted up behind that Bristleback, and they just don't want to go face first into a fresh pipe.
Gotta remember too, when Bristle is this strong, he can go for Roshan as well.
Yeah.
It's not just the damage, but the base armor loss that you get from the nasal goo that makes him so much more possible.
For sure. And NIP are more than willing to take a fight in the pit when you've got an Enigma on your team.
They're going tower trade-off for the moment. NIP showing a lot of heroes up on top. They don't have a great, actually they do have one great observer ward that sees Tiny. They see Boxy moving in, but they won't see the shrine area. So around the back, where's your jump? Boxy gets the pick up, toss back, but it's over on 33, still holding the pipe charge for the moment. Koifa now going to arrive, pulling in a bat for borrowed time. It's going to be able to burn in just 1 second. 33 taking through most of it. Borrowed time has come out now, but Earthspirit in the back lines with a Guna Blade. Ace jumps on him straight away. They want to remove that silence and magnetize. Koifa hoping to get back into this fight. Another quick pop up and throw, but it's 33. Again, the hero you don't want.
Yeah, 33 is just the decoy. He wants to get tossed back into these things. It's like being a Tidehunter. You want to get knee-deep into the enemy team. I mean, it's difficult for Boxy to get past him because there's these constant quill sprays canceling your blink dagger, so maybe you can toss back the Bristleback and all of a sudden the Abaddon's like, oh, I gotta save my Bristleback, but that's never gonna happen. Dude has 2.3k HP, he's got the pipe, he's got the Vanguard, and he nearly has the Crimson Guard completed.
Yeah, he's gonna live through absolutely everything, and that just kind of buys the space for Fada, even though he doesn't have the net worth, just to be a little bit more maneuverable. Bottom lane, long jump in from Koi for Boxy as well. No TP support's coming in, and that's why Anti-Mage blinks away. The tree will chase, trying to counterspell that.
That is close.
You'll get back to safety. Mickey, very much isolated. He's just standing there. He's got spin available. Starts his run away. Insania gets the silence over an Enigma. Those black holes able to actually hold him in position. Soulbind as well is up. Boxy tossing his teammate further away to safety. So Insania can live to fight yet another day.
And IP are just trying to solidify control of this northern half of the map, but the problem is that Alliance are not obliging.
Rolling boulder, they're going after Ace once again. A quick silence, Koifa will jump in. Ace, he's in a world of hurt, needs to be out a blink away, but the damage from Koifa is enough. Farming underneath the Observer and Sentry.
Now they can go back top and take a fight without an Anti-Mage free farming. You've got a Storm Spirit.
They don't have the Storm Spirit though. He can't TP because he doesn't have one.
Oh, okay.
So it's still going to be 33 standing its ground. Crimson Guard is available. They really want this tier 2 tower, so at least there's some kind of rebuttal for the tier 2 tower they lost on bottom. Having AM getting 2 creep waves worth of farm wasn't enough.
Yeah. Especially when he's under this much pressure, because now, eventually NIP are going to have to come back to their jungle and get rid of all the Observer wards that Alliance plays, because at this point, it's obvious. Your jungle is not safe anymore as an anti-mage, so you're going to have to farm somewhere else. Someone's going to have to come back down and get control back.
That's such a silly taunt from Boxy.
I know, dude. I keep hearing the tire thing.
Yeah, it's like it makes you think like Pangaea should have something like this.
That's true, actually.
Like why does Tiny have something like this? It's meant to be like his avalanche. Like
I'm really disappointed I haven't seen the Earth Spirit taunt yet, where he's like surfing on his totem.
Yeah,
Taiga's too professional for this, apparently.
Obviously. Oh my god. It's just like, yeah, what the hell is that ES one?
Dude, it's comical. I love it. You do it like...
There it is again.
He's been spamming it.
Yeah, he really has. There we go. Over towards Roshan. Dire Scam. They do ping positive. And NIP are not doing Roshan. They're actually looking for a fight. As they go up in the high ground, they find Boxy. Your Scepter up, Courier trying to actually come in. It's going to be fortified, looking to deliver some items, but Tiny just controlled. Laguna Blade, whatever they've got to kill off Boxy, it takes a hell of a lot to do it. But he's down for 50 seconds, and this opens up Roshan. Thanks to that Observable, they also have planted. They see where Incendiar and Mixie are.
Tiny's their tanky initiator, so with him being gone, you really have no fear of taking Roche, especially since you didn't have to blow Black Hole. Even if Koikfoot jumps in, even if the Earth Spirit jumps in, they're not going to be able to contest this Roche, so they're just going to have to take their losses. Taking that Tiny death is very, very costly, as we will now get an Aegis probably on the Bristle. Okay, Ace is going to take it.
Protect your harder farmer.
Right,
like
exactly.
to kill off Bristle is, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's very difficult.
Yeah, like I said, AM is going to win this game, not the Bristle. If the Bristle dies, so be it. But if your AM continues to fall to a Storm Spirit rotation, then you may have some real trouble winning this game.
Yeah, but he's getting more defensive items like coming up. Like he still needs the Manta. Like once that's arrived, like at least there's some way to escape from Alliance's attack.
Yeah, as long as the Tiny isn't in the area, because otherwise that Avalanche is going to be an issue every single time.
It's like 33 is actually going for an Echo Saber. A double punch.
Interesting.
With 400, 300 damage.
Okay. I mean, he's already got all the utility he needs. Crimson plus Pipe, what more could you really want defensively speaking? I don't think a Shiva's is that useful this game. Omnislash hasn't really been that great. And you've got a lot of like Eidolons and Dominator creeps to diffuse the Omnislash as well.
And we've got an extra sentry. Rolling Boulder in. Tiger kicks him away and grabs the bounty rune. The Soulbind. Ace locked together with PPD, but it's not going to stop 33 from jumping back in closer again. The Black Hole is from the low ground. Zaska hits his right point. Tiger will fall, and they want to keep the pressure up. Remember, Bristleback is keeping these stacks continuously rising on Alliance, but they just reach the back lines instead. Koifa burning every bit of mana he's got to reach him with the Mana Void. Ace can't stand his ground room. He's got the Aegis team on the double light strike array. Fada will connect it. This allows the 33 to now do his work, catching the Rolling Boulder of Tiger. The silences can continue as Ace as well as Koifa. Who's going to get the kill? The Aegis will finally pop. Koifa is on such low life, but he is alive. Ball linings away while 33 will die to the three-man gang squad of Alliance, who will back him the top lane, and they're not done just yet. They're looking for Fada under the tier 1 tower, and they'll get him.
Amazing fight from Alliance. And also, as cute as that low ground Black Hole was, it didn't get the entirety of the stairs. So Boxy was just able to walk around the corner. All you ended up killing in that Black Hole was the Earth Spirit. Immediately bought back, and that is your biggest ultimate. Meanwhile, Alliance still have Omnislash available. They still have this Koikfoot Storm Spirit who had full mana available. Even after jumping all the way onto Ace, he still had enough mana to not die to the Mana Void. And granted, still have an Aegis on the AM as Borrowed Time does get popped. But Boxy is incredibly irritating. You have to catch him in these black holes.
I don't even know how you fight through him. Like even if you catch him in the black hole, that's 25 armor that you've got to hit through. You don't have that physical damage just yet, and Laguna Blade does not feel anywhere near powerful enough.
And I love the Mjolnir pickup on Mike as well. With all these constant quill sprays coming out, you're just getting lightning procs all over the place. Borrowed Time make it like randomly popped in another fight on the mid lane.
Yeah, quick jump. They're gonna find the anti-mage if they got enough to kill him off. The Meg Charge doesn't do enough from Enigma. Light Strike Array, however, catching the Juggernaut. They got a lot of burst damage, trying to get back out from underneath the tier 2 tower. The tower was even hitting Mecha at that point, but he is away to safety back into the shadows of the trees. #1 net worth by far.
Like 7k net worth for Alliance.
Actually out farming the anti-mage, who has still been catching up, but it's just non-stop deaths most recently. It's very, very difficult to find that level of farm when you're basically sitting there waiting to respawn.
And this is why the Storm Spirit matchup is a two-sided coin. Oftentimes, with this Storm Spirit gets such an early advantage, you can't work your way to a Manta Style early enough, toss back on a PVD.
Yeah, he's got his Borrowed Time to give him a little bit more life, but now Koifa jumps in. They want to get this kill over on the Abaddon. 33's coming forward as well. They know there's no Black Hole to really fear, but Meke, he's out of his spin. Alliance still poking and prodding. Any kind of opportunity they can go for. But it's a little late, so they just leave a lot of aggressive Observer Wards around this nice arc that cuts from the top lane and through the mid.
Their next guess is to guess, where is Ace going to go, and where can we kill him?
Well, Ace should be leaving, right? Like he's holding his money for buyback. His surplus is 1.6k at the moment.
Yeah, right now everyone's just protecting him. He's smoking
33,
up.
Initiation, toss him up, right into the Inkswell. He's got movement speed to get a little bit further away, but then the Omnislash and Storm Spirit, everyone's jumping on the Bristleback, but PPD's there to protect him. A large amount of initiation and a lot of mana being burnt. Everyone from Alliance is below 50%. And Ace is left. He's gone for bounty runes on bottom and back to farm game.
Once Black Hole's up, you can't really go for those kinds of plays, so they just want to go for hit and run. The problem is that, again, if you toss back 33's Bristleback, you're not going to kill him quick enough before Enigma can converge on your location.
And he's going BKB next. So he's not like he's tanky enough and immune enough already. Like, it's like, okay. Or resistant enough, I wouldn't say immune. Immunity is the BKB.
No. But NIP are not afraid. Despite losing a handful of fights back-to-back, they are still trying to smoke out, trying to gain some map control. I imagine that they're hoping to kill the Storm Spirit. You really need to start slowing him down. And Mike is just doing so much better than a lot of Juggernauts. This build with the Mjolnir is like far more valuable than it is in, like, a lot of times you just get it for the attack speed because it's great with your ultimate. But here, again, the static shield is so great this game.
How to return the damage, and now he's thinking about how to inflict the damage. Silver Edge is the next major pickup. So he doesn't need to complete the basher. He's not looking for a Abyssal Blade. They don't need that lockdown. They just need to break 33's back.
Yep. Or hell, even try to make the anti-mage a little bit more susceptible to magic damage as well, because the Storm Spirit will start falling off at some point, but if you can break that spell shield, Koikva becomes a far more useful target.
And Ace, yeah, he really is just tanking up. Skadi is his item of choice. McKay and Boxy, looking for that. Oh my God, Boxy, just stop doing that. Every time I hear it, it's just like it's becoming like nails on a chalkboard. Like,
that's what freaking, yeah, you mentioned Pango earlier. Zai Pango always spams that dun 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 dun.
Oh wait, hang on, no, that's the wrong tune.
You went a little bit. You gave me the full thing.
Oh, I gave you the not Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Men in Tights.
Oh, okay, that's what that was.
The Sheriff of Rottingham sound.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see how many people inside know
that
reference.
That's a deep cut, Toby.
Yeah, like we were having a conversation earlier upstairs, just like, hey, Betamax, you're a Betamax person. It's like, who understands? It's only Nahas knew in the room what a Betamax was. Vada hits the Light Strike array over towards the Juggernauts. We bring it back to the world of something that's really meaningful. Meke looking just to spin himself away, but that's why Ace TP's in, jumps to the front lines. A Yule Scepter, Vada wants it to perfect Light Strike array, and a Black Hole, and Storm. Woo! It's a good thing Koikva was able to ball landing across Black Holes.
That was pretty slick. Manages to get the Vortex on the Enigma on the way through. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough time there.
Shouldn't the Black Hole catch you at that point? I may not know my physics too well.
You telling me that Storm Spirit's an imbalanced hero? That's kind of what I'm hearing.
You know, what should happen now? I saw this in an episode of Stargate, right? Like, you go into a black hole, you run around the edge of it, and then you come back out the other side, but time has changed, and you just like, that's what's going to happen. You hit a black hole and you just reverse back out the opposite way.
Yeah, time did change, though. He went through it, and then his Juggernaut died shortly after.
That's all right. You can Star Trek it, go back around the sun. You can change time.
You can interstellar it.
Yeah.
Don't let me leave, Murph. Yeah, so they're two BKB piercing disables, which makes the whole Blade Fury TP thing just not viable, which is another reason why I didn't like the Juggernaut that much. You've got the Mana Void.
Fada. Go on the side. Oh, you can't cut through there.
He's looking.
They're so close. They're so close.
Oh, there
he found
is.
him. He found Koikva. Set him up in the air. Wait, hang on. That Light Strike array that Yule Scepter. That's not the target timing they were looking for. Koikva. Jump. Long ball away in TP.
Yules was that?
I don't know. Like, PPD doesn't have one. Like,
does Koikva have one?
No.
Then I don't know what that was.
It wasn't Lena's. No, it was Lena's. It was Lena's trick, but she did the Light Strike array.
Yeah, she looked mid-animation. That's interesting.
We'll ask our Observer team to play that back again in slow motion, just so we can actually see at some point. But obviously, when everyone's not going to fight.
Well, that would have been a really good kill. And again, another thing to slow down this Storm Spirit.
They got some time. This will slow Storm down. There's another 2.5 minutes before Roshan's going to spawn. So this will be our moment.
He's got an Arcane Rune on the Storm right now, but no real targets available.
Here's Juggernaut running forward. Here's a target. Storm. He's jumping down over towards Conversions, but the target is the Juggernaut, already down to half life. Gets the Omni Slash with the Soulbind. Abaddon able to get all of his life back, thanks to the fact that Mika just focused over on him. There's still no Black Hole up for NIP. They're uncertain if they want the full fight, but maybe they do when Mika gets Light Strike arrayed again with the Laguna Blade and the Mana Void. 80 seconds on the sideline. Storm is forced to ball lightning away.
Without the Juggernaut, you will not take that fight. Even though oftentimes when you see a Mana Void, you're like, oh, now's my time to play. I'm Storm Spirit. I have nothing to be concerned about. But Boxy wasn't able to get in the fight to cause distractions. Your static shield of the Mjolnir from Juggernaut is gone, who he does now have buyback.
Yeah, he got the money just after the fight, so he's now got an 80 surplus.
And Dire see a scan inside the Roche pit being confirmed, but then it gets deconfirmed, so they know that they're not taking Roche at this moment, especially when you see 33 on your mid lane.
It's such a long spawn time, too.
Yeah. So they'll just try to push out the side lanes. Even Korkva's a little bit concerned.
Yeah, that was 2 great LSAs from Fada that really made that work
He's been
against
on
the Juggernaut.
point this entire series. Definitely. He's impressing me very much so, because in the earlier games of this tournament, I was like, oh, okay, this, it's the old Fada, lose mid and enable 33 and ace, but this time he is winning the game for them.
Yeah. Like the sentry wards, there's 6 sentry wards around from Roshan to the south. That's just making sure that Alliance cannot see anywhere, either in the farm area or them posturing ready for Roshan.
But you can see how different it is from Game 1, because in Game 1, all the sentry wards were in the Dire jungle, because they were like, oh, I want to make sure you can't see me in your jungle. This time, they're all defensive to make sure that their anti-mage does not get jumped on by these tinies and storm spirits.
Well, the jump, Light Striker Ray starts all off again with Laguna Blade. They're going to follow up stun. Koifa, long jump in, starts to go to BKB. He's going to trigger it and keep the black hole going. No way for Juggernaut to get back out. Koifa, he's burning so much mana. The LSA is looking to get at the end. It's a magnetize. The ears begin to ring, but 33 stands himself very strong with the mana void. A lot of split damage kicking in from the fact the Storm Spirit was so low on mana that the Lina has already bought back into the fight. She did die, but they've got more strength to fight. Anyway, he's going to blink himself out of this avalanche. But 33, he's happy to stand. Boxy back into the front line, Super Ace. He gets the bash on the Koifa, slowing him down for the moment. PPD just keeps continuously shielding everybody up against Dump, and now the in we go again. The Omni Slash does the work. Anti-Mage is gone, so is Abaddon, so is Enigma. What's left? You're looking at 33. Bristle back to TP out. Boxy, he comes back in again, and he'll actually help get the kill. A triple kill for Meke. He pulls it out when Alliance always needed it, and this is exactly when he needed to pull it out.
Great ordering of priorities. They leave the Bristleback alone, which is so important. So often you'll see this raid boss Bristleback, and you're like, all right, we just gotta get through him, otherwise he's gonna keep quill spraying everything. Bristleback is limited by his cooldowns. He can't spam his quill spray unless you keep hitting his back, so they just ignore him. Go for the Enigma. Even though Black Hole BKB was down, the Midnight Pulse is still very, very irritating. Then go for, the Abaddon. Make sure that he's not able to get these aphotic shields off. Finally, Ace's anti-mage is very, very vulnerable, and it costs buybacks from the side of Alliance, as we see in this replay. But that Omni Slash finally kicking through. Great buyback on Mike. Great decision to go for that. And Fada buys back as well, so it's not all on the side of Alliance. But NIP suffers some losses as well, and they lose Roche.
Yeah, a core buyback from my other side, and it was the ES who also bought back from Alliance, so...
Oh wow, they actually give the Aegis to the Juggernaut, not the Storm Spirit. They give the cheese to the Storm.
McKay appears to be target number 1 every single fight.
And the cheese is pretty valuable for a Storm Spirit. Like, if you get low, and like whenever you're low as a Storm Spirit, you're like, okay, time for me to die, time for someone to kill me so I can respawn. That will be a bad situation against an anti-mage. Just be like, okay, I'm more than happy to kill you because I will also kill your whole team in the process with a high damage mana void. Cheese, on the other hand, you can kind of keep yourself in the fight, you keep your mana pool healthy, and you keep your team protected.
He's got cheese as well as regeneration.
And 23 Bloodstone charges.
Yep, that's even more just passive regen. 53.2 mana. That's him. Smoke up from NIP probably. 5 players together. Need to push the lane out. BKB now rise from 33. So he'll have a little bit more presence in the lane. But as you said, can't spam everything. PPD getting caught out. Tossed a long way back. The borrowed time will buy a little bit of time. But can he get out of this one? Steel shields? No. Orchid keeps him silent. So there was no shields or miscoil available. That disable of Koifa at the right time. They're just chaining this perfectly.
And now they're starting to reclaim control of that western jungle again. Now you're seeing the green circles turn into red circles. Like we see in this replay just a few minutes prior. Okay, so I saw Yules, but I was not paying attention enough. That's on me, observer. That's on me.
It was the Linas.
Sure,
I'll take it.
Oh, we got it again?
All right,
okay,
yeah, we got it again. So
it was Lina's.
Yeah, so he went the Light Strike Array.
I see. He completed the LSA animation, and then the Yules came out in between the delay. That's
Okay.
Yikes.
That's a quick cast, right? That's an accidental quick cast.
That must be it. Much as how we saw that quick cast Sanity's Eclipse whenever he was trying to shield the courier on Eho. The quick cast is a double-edged sword, Sometimes if you're playing Puck, it's great. Sometimes if you're playing literally any other hero, it's not great.
All right, so NIP have been pushed back into their base. We kind of push Alliance a long way ahead. 10,000 is the gold advantage. They've only received this over the course of the last 5 minutes. In fact, it was NIP who had a small advantage until that point. And we're seeing that vision game change. All the sentry wards have timed out for NIP, and they're trying to re-establish that control.
Problem is, Storm already has a gem, and he sees Fada, who's invis here.
Oh, pick him up, drop him. There's a silence, and Koif has already got it.
And he's so
Oh,
confident.
they got the ball. The rolling ball to forward. BPD's already at the borrow time triggered. 33, well out. He's going to trigger the shrine. The BKB offers him some level of protection, but Mickey is just trying to pump the physical damage in onto him. They'll pop
Nice
off the
soul
Abaddon,
bind.
and more control needs to come in from Alliance as the Soulbind keeps Ace as well as Suska. They're a little bit closer together, and one of you really got the
Black
animation.
hole.
Now your black hole, it catches two. Nothing can cancel it. 3 into it. He has in the back lines, but they don't care. They know they can tank through it. 3 heroes down. It's going to be actually 4 heroes down as 33 retreats, and GG. They just call it straight up.
What?
Any Major's dead for too long. It's over a minute. They know this, and NIP just want to go next. They see no other way to stand and fight.
Wow. I mean, wow.
That's game.
That's game. That's good game. That's great game. Alliance, what a fantastic turnaround from game 1. This was a draft that I was not encouraged by. The heroes did not seem particularly synergistic. Only in an ideal situation did I see them being able to win, and the ideal situation happened. They shut down Ace's anti-mage. 33's Bristleback proved to be a non-factor, even though he got a lot of farm. If you ignore someone who's a lot of farm, like a Bristleback, he's not going to be able to do anything to you.
Man, I just want to give more props to Quotefa. Like, he is just stepping up time and time again. You're looking at the Storm Spirit going, can he actually get anything here? Like, he's going to win his lane against Fada, who wrecked him so hard before, and now you got this problem, you got this problem. The shields will be there, so can you even orc it? Can you do this? It's like, every time. And sustained damage every single time, too. That just enabled everyone else. He ended up the game on 11-16.
Beautiful.
By far the highest, best KDA ratio of any player.
And we got a game on our hands now.
We actually do. Alliance show that they can actually play real Dota. All jokes aside, we've got to be serious about this.
Of course,
There's
serious.
actually still so much on the line for these teams. It's
Major slots.
It's major slot, and major slot means still the chance to go directly in the top 12 to TI. It's a big thing for Alliance. It's a big thing, obviously, well, NIP.
I mean, hell, even getting a good placement here and even not doing so great at the major, they may be able to kick out eHome, who are no longer qualified for the DPC if someone knocks them out.
Yeah, there's only 8 teams which are currently guaranteed. So, hey, it's still anyone's ball game. You want to push forward. If you win this, you're guaranteed a major slot and a position in the grand final tomorrow. It all comes down to the next game.
Observing something where I felt like I would actually push the whole craft forwards. I could give people something that they would enjoy.